slightest thing. Having the journey times in black and white would help a little. The envelope, too, went in her pocket. She must remember to pop it in the postbox. The entrance to the allotments was at the brow of Prince's Rise. It was a stiff climb, but Sophia told herself it was good exercise. She shared the plot with a neighbour. It would have been too much for just one of them, and the arrangement worked well. Sophia grew flowers. Ernie preferred to grow vegetables. Come to think of it, Ernie usually had more to say to his greens than he did to her. Not that he'd be there. As he'd mentioned several times, Ernie was staying with his daughter and her family in Kidderminster. It was an all-too-rare weekend visit, and the old man had been as excited as Sophia had ever seen him. She smiled as she recalled him dusting down an ancient battered suitcase before packing it with almost certainly unsuitable presents for grandchildren he rarely saw. Her smile was tinged now with a hint of sadness. She suspected that Ernie, like herself, felt a touch lonely from time to time. He'd popped in that morning to ask her to keep an eye on the place. It wasn't a problem. She wasn't going anywhere. She rarely did. She'd be spending the night in with Trollope. Anthony, not Joanna. But first things first. Earlier in the day, she'd had an inkling that the daffodils would be ready. They'd always been her favourite flower. She loved the way their golden brashness banished the greys of winter. Cutting them was like picking sunlight. Sophia smiled at the thought and made an effort to put a spring in her step. She was determined to slough off the uncharacteristic depression and enjoy what remained of the day, the warmest of the year so far. Across the park, over the treetops, the city's skyscape was discernible on the horizon, a sprawling greyness of jutting concrete towers, dwarfed in every way by the nature around it. The sky was beautiful. She wanted to paint it, preserve it. Impossible, of course. The backcloth of colours changed every time she lifted her glance. Now, the brightest of blues was streaked with tapering fingers of gold. Smudges of mauves and lilacs lay like bruises on the tenderest of flesh. It made her glad to be alive. Again, she chided herself for her previous dark mood. She must try not to let real or imagined snubs and slights get her down. Life was good. Her health was fine, and she had no money worries. Sometimes she wondered what difference a family would make, but what was the point? There was nothing she could do about that now. She'd opted for a career in the days when most women saw marriage and motherhood as a job for life. She'd loved her work as a doctor, enjoyed the respect her position commanded, and relished her independence. If an old age lonelier than she'd have liked was the price, it was a cost she could live with. She was almost level with the gates. She usually crossed on the corner near the general store, but a woman she vaguely recognised was waving from the other side of the road. How nice, Sophia thought. Maybe we could take a stroll together. She lifted a hand to return the greeting before realising the woman was hailing a bus. Mortified, Sophia glanced round, hoping no one had seen her make an idiot of herself. There was only one man nearby, and he was engrossed in a newspaper. She knew her embarrassment was out of all proportion to the simple mistake. Why couldn't she just laugh it off like anyone else? Momentarily flustered, she decided to pop into the shop. Mr. Vaz usually had a kindly word, always asked how she felt, even though she had the good sense not to tell him. Maybe his old-fashioned courtesy would restore a little of her fragile self-esteem. Emerging a few minutes later, Sophia held a flimsy plastic carrier containing a bar of dark chocolate and a half bottle of brandy. She paused, dithering in the middle of the pavement. Maybe she should go home. Forget the flowers. Two youths were approaching, clad in black, with rings through their lips. It was clear from their body language they had no intention of making way for her. Nervous of making eye contact, Sophia glanced down and moved out of their path. They strutted past with nothing more wounding than a muffled, "Shuvik, Grandma."